Shadow of the Colossus. This is the much-awaited title from the Ico team. They want everybody to know right out of the gates. This is not a sequel. This is definitely a kindred spirit, but it's not necessarily a sequel. Shadow of the Colossus basically is a love story where you're following a young boy who's lost a loved one, and he is now going through the process of trying to revive her. And as the story goes, you have to take her to this temple and accomplish the goals it sets forth for you. And those goals happen to be take down 16 Colossi. These are basically boss monsters. Now, I don't think this has ever been done before, but the entire game are bosses. You have 16 big baddies that you have to take down, and there's no minor creatures. There's no minor fights. I go, I find him, I kill him, I come back. Done. You start from the temple each time, and then you have to go out and find him. Now, one of the challenges, you're actually armed with a magical sword, which if you hold it up to the light, it's almost like a Gandalf experience. You hold the sword up into the light, and the light reflects off it, and it'll show you the direction to go to find it. It'll probably take you anywhere from 5 to 10, maybe 12 minutes to actually find the shrine to summon the temple, or summon the Colossus. Now, once you've summoned the Colossus, you got to figure out how to beat him. And usually that'll take you a good 5 or 10 minutes because you also have to hold the sword up to shine it off the Colossus, and different portions of it will sparkle, and now you know where you have to go to get it. And usually you aren't going to beat it the first time. You're probably going to get your butt kicked. I'm sorry, that's the way it is. But, it's a boss fight. You're supposed to. So now you actually have to go about the process of that 10 or 15 minutes to actually take him down. So all in all, you're probably looking at anywhere from 30 to 40 minutes, assuming you take the Colossus down the first time, each Colossus. So, I think reasonably 8 to 10 hours for a good player to take these things down is going to be realistic. They're extreme and varied. That's probably the best way to put it. They've taken inspiration from anything from historical creatures. You have minotaurs, you have giant sea creatures, you have clockwork beasts. But every one of them have this natural feel to them. They're all made out of stone and fur, and there's moss growing on them like they've been around for 1,000 years. And I mean, we have multiple bipeds, multiple quadrupeds. You've got multiple flying creatures, you've got multiple sea creatures. So you've got 2 or 3 guys you're taking out while you're swimming. You've got a couple that you actually have to down an aerial creature enough to be able to leap onto it, to ride it while it's flying around the environment. They go from small to large, medium to large. The one that everybody's going to be seeing in the screenshots is from the E3 demo. That's probably a medium-sized Colossus, the guy with the big mace. There are guys who are significantly larger and also a few that are smaller. I think probably our smallest Colossus is like a giant bull. I mean, and he's fast. You've basically got to lure him around the environment to get an advantageous shot on him. You have a horse. For the first time I've ever played in a video game where the horse feels like another character. The mechanics, imagine driving without a car. You have complete control. You can stand on the horse's saddle. You can ride the horse with your knees while shooting your bow. You can leap off of the horse's back and climb onto things. It's just the horse is phenomenal. Well, you do have a number of console style, climbing and jumping, hoppy-jumpy puzzles. A lot of that's actually part of the adventure where you're trying to get to the shrine, and that coupled with the fact that you've got to climb up most of these colossi to get to them to be able to stick them with your sword. So it's that aspect is it's funny. It's hard to describe because it's so immersive. You get up on there and you're climbing around on this boss, and you're trying to get up to the weak spot that your sword's showing you, and you've got to find places to rest on a monster like this. You got to find little hidey holes on the beast where you're sitting there and you're trying to get your energy back, and then you climb up even farther and you stab him, and half of his health goes down, but the spot went dead. Oh God, there's another weak spot. I got to find the other weak spot. So you're climbing around, you're hanging off this thing, you're trying to find it, and oh God, I got to go down there? Oh geez, now you're climbing down the chest of the beast and stabbing him in the belly. It's phenomenal. Now we're going to be able to play some Shadow of the Colossus this fall. So we're hot on working on that and getting it ready for you guys, but you will be able to play a little bit of it at E3 as well.